What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm so excited to be finally sitting down and starting this kind of mini series that I've been wanting to do for a while, which is a full face of blank brand. I have quite a few brands where I feel like I have quite the collection of their products that they at least have on sale or available for you to purchase. And so I figured it'd be really helpful to start off with a brand that I'm currently affiliated with and I've been getting quite a few questions about recently. So let me put them all back in the bin. As you can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about Merit Beauty. Of course, this is the finished full face. And yeah, I think that there are definitely some pros, cons, and musts about this brand. As with any brand, do not get me wrong at all. But I really wanted to break it down for you guys because the brand has been so nice to send me quite a bit of product actually now that I'm taking the time to look at it. And I've also, subsequently purchased some other things just to try it from the brand. And so I want to give you guys all of my information in the event that you are interested in purchasing from them. As always, I do have an affiliated link down below. There also may be a coupon code. I really don't know. Check out down below. I don't want to talk too much. I feel like I rambled on enough in the get ready with me. So let's just dive on in. Hey guys, so like I said in the intro, I figured I would do kind of an updated full face. It has been quite some time since I've done a full face, and I feel like there's definitely, of course, the longer you have products in your collection, the more you use said products, the more knowledge you have. And there have also been new releases, I want to say, since the last time I did a full face. So that's the whole kind of antithesis on this video. I want to answer you guys' questions by showing you guys the pros and cons to certain products and kind of who I think the brand is meant for. So let's get into it. First things first, Merit has now released a glow serum, which they say you can use for primer and for like an actual serum. I must say, I don't particularly like this as a primer, and although I won't sit here and say that it's bad for a serum, it's not something that I know I'm gonna reach for as a serum. And this was in my base declutter video that recently went up, I want to say earlier this week. I will go ahead and have that video linked down below in case you are interested. And maybe I'll do the declutter series as well. That was something that actually is the last time I am using that product. It is going to be moved to Mama Bear. It's just not something that I feel like I get a lot of enjoyment from. With that just small application, now I have had my skincare on all day. Did I put skincare on today? I might have forgot to put skincare on if we're being honest, but regardless, with my amount of skincare that I applied, is my tree on? My tree is on. Okay, good job. With the amount of skincare that I applied on today, and then just adding that on, I just feel like I don't get enough of what I'm expecting. For this, I could reach for my Hemish Glow moisturizer primer. I could reach for my Samantha Ravindal's brand, her glowy primer kind of colored base thing. There's just, to me, there's just not enough of kind of a glow factor that will really work for what I like to look for. And I do like a glowier base for somebody who is typically combination skin. I really like a skin satin-like finish. And if at the beginning it's glowy, no big deal at all. Oh, I wet a sponge, but Merit's base products, I would prefer and recommend using a brush. So let me find a brush. So the brand did send me their brush, which is more or less similar to this. I just can't find it, and I just am being impatient. This happens to be from Chikuhodo. This is their FO2, extremely expensive, but I will say it is worth it. I actually really do like that brush. Okay. So as I talked about, this is another product that I did feature in the base collection and declutter video, and I have two shades. The brand sent me one shade and I picked up the other. So the oldest shade and the shade that the brand sent to me is Cacao, and the shade that I picked up is Sepia. So just so that you guys know, this is Cacao, this is Cacao, and this is Sepia. So there is clearly a difference there, and this really just falls back into my knowledge that I have personally gained this year when it comes to shade matching. I feel like all throughout my years, I've always been having difficulty with that, and I've really just settled on the concept of matching my décolleté, which is something that everybody always preaches, but I think for me, it's like, I'm hard-headed. I don't want to be told what to do. I want to kind of figure it out for myself. And so this sepia shade is just the best shade. Now, the whole principle around this brand is really kind of minimalist, effortless, quick makeup application. So that's why this is pretty much their base product. I don't think they will ever really come out with a concealer, maybe, but I just don't think it like kind of is necessary for the aesthetic that they're trying to reach for. You really mainly are going to get light to light medium coverage with this product. You can build it up to get it to a medium, but I just don't think that that's going to help longevity wise if you have combination and or oily skin. If you have dry, I don't see like a con to you layering up products, because this is a very kind of satin skin like finish, because like I said, this is whole brand is meant to be an effortless kind of base feel. But if you could see close up, and I will come in closer so that you guys can see, it really doesn't look like I have anything on. It looks like I pretty much just was playing with my face with a brush and did not apply anything. Let me come in so that you guys can see. Okay, so you can still see my hyperpigmentation. That is just a normal hyperpigmentation. This is the bar incident that I always talk about. Not bar as in drinking, bar as in working out. Those are two really key elements that I use to determine like the coverage level of a product. And like I said, you can build it up. I just don't think that this brand is really ever going to give you more coverage unless you really layer it on. So that's what I'm going to do, just so I can show you guys what it's like. But to me, like I said, this is really for the minimalist da-da-dee-da-dee-da. Now, in that declutter video, I did mention that it might be cool to use this formula because it is so malleable, but it also has some grip, so it will stick to where you put it, that you could use this formula to get a contour shade or a bronzer shade or even a concealer shade. If you want, just go a shade or two lighter than your skin tone and you'll get it. So I definitely think that this is something that if you like the finish, if you like the feel of this foundation, you can use it in multiple different ways. And, you know, just to put that out there, you can do that for any product. It doesn't have to necessarily be this brand, this particular product. No, you can do it for any product out there. And the key to this kind of more minimalist vibe that this brand is creating is that, to me, I don't really feel like I have anything on my skin. I can feel a little bit of like, I don't want to say tack. I can feel a little bit of product, but it's not heavy. It's not overpowering. And you guys saw how much foundation I applied. Let me come in closer again so you guys can see the forehead. As you can see, the bar mark is kind of pretty much gone, at least to my eyes. And same with the mark over here. So to me, that's the sign of pretty solid medium coverage. You can definitely still see some hyperpigmentation and you can definitely still see some imperfections, but it's not as, you know, easily noticeable. So I definitely think that this can give you a wide range of base finishes or coverage levels, not finishes. This can give you a wide range of base coverage levels. Definitely, like I said, a skin-like finish. I think this pretty much, I could rock this every day without setting it and people wouldn't know that I'm wearing a foundation unless, you know, they touch me and my foundation wears off. So I definitely really like this product, highly recommend. And I think I kind of stopped myself in the middle of a sentence. As for using different shades, whether darker or lighter, I definitely think you can do that. And just with their existing range, maybe depending on your skin tone, that may not be accessible, especially if you're closer to a dark, deep, rich tint skin tone. There may not be enough to do something darker and lighter. Well, definitely something lighter, but maybe not something necessarily darker. But I think the concept of using that is definitely applicable with that particular product. And you could really make your own full on merit based foundation routine with that. Now, that said, they do actually have a cream bronzer, and so that's the only reason why I'm not using Cacao today. I do at least want to show you guys. Maybe what I will do is actually use a combination of both so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But their cream bronzer, and this is the thing, it's not a cream bronzer in the traditional sense. This is more of a balm finish. So they made it with the intention. This is the shade right there, in case you're wondering. I have it in the shade Monarch. I honestly don't remember if I bought this or if the brand sent it to me. Quite a lot of these things are kind of mixed, so if I can figure it out through purchasing orders, I will have it indicated down below in the description box. But this product is a balm. So there is like a see-through kind of finish to it. I don't want to say it's see-through. It's more buildable. It's more buildable. There's more kind of mistake ability with this product, whereas I find with their foundation stick, if you were going to use that as a bronzer, you would really have to work to kind of erase any mistakes that you made. But that said, this product, as you can see, is definitely dark enough for me, which I truly appreciate. And it also is a nice color. It's a nice color. Is this my preferred undertone? No, but I think I'm very much in the minority with wanting a yellow based undertone bronzer, and that is very much something that I came to the understanding of this year, and I've truly been enjoying it. But formula wise, like I said, I actually really do like the formula. It's not as kind of opaque as I would personally like, but that's mainly because I use so much bronzer and I just really love to kind of emphasize certain parts of my face through the use of bronzer. And, you know, that's me. So, like I said, this is going to give you enough bronze tone that you can sculpt your face. And it can low-key look like you have a concealer on. It can low-key look like you have a bronzer, contour, all of that on. But with less products, I still don't feel like I have all that much product on my face at all. And yeah, I think that this looks really, really nice. Did I blend it together the best? Probably not, but it is me. So who knows? But yeah, I am liking this. And just for, you know, me being me, we're going to add a little bit of cacao so that you guys can see one side with just Monarch and then the other side with a splash of cacao and Monarch, and then hopefully that can help you guys. I'll probably have to even it out overall just because I hope to film more. And ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so I still have Monarch on the back of my hand. Let me swatch cacao for you guys. Cacao is not as dark as I was expecting compared to Monarch. It is more or less, I want to say, the same thing. The undertone on Monarch, the undertone on Monarch more or less looks a little bit more yellow based than cacao, at least on my hand. It also may be the sheer level to it, but that was very interesting. I was expecting to see such a huge difference. I don't think I even really can tell the fact that I added cacao on this side and the fact that there's only Monarch on this side. That's so interesting. It's always so interesting when you actually put things to the test and actually look at them side by side. Since I don't really see a difference, I'm just gonna add, like you just saw, a little bit on that side just to even it out. But that's all she wrote on that. Very, very interesting. So if you were thinking about getting another foundation stick and you are my skin tone, I would say just stick with the Balm bronzer if you already picked that up, because to me, I don't see a huge difference. I don't see a huge difference. Me, typically in my routine, I powder, and I do want to give these products kind of my personal best impressions or showcasing of them. So I am going to go ahead and powder. I am currently in the midst of like attempting to clean my brushes. So a lot of my brushes that I prefer for all of my steps are not with me, and I'm also going to just try to get through a day without doing concealer. We'll see how it goes. So I am just going to use my Kosas powder in the shade Deep. We're going to see how this goes. I wonder if people will notice that I don't have concealer on, you know, in my other videos that I film. I would love for Merit, I understand that it doesn't really work with their kind of aesthetic, but I would love for them to come out with like a powder bronzer, a powder blush, a powder everything really. I think that there's definitely, you know, market value in them adding that to their repertoire, and you can still kind of get a very effortless face, especially for those who really just don't like creams. I think that it could help with overall their potential with market value with their constituents. So yeah, I'm just gonna dab this everywhere, and then I will take a big fluffy brush and kind of just go all over my face, and we'll use this one because, you know, I am oily, well, combination skin at the end of the day, so I still do need to powder. I just like for my powder to look very, very thin, and that's the genius of the Kosas. But we're not talking about Kosas today. We're talking about Merit. So keeping it going for me in my steps of my routine, I'm then gonna go in with my cream blush. Now this is the one part of Merit's overall collection that I find is honestly the weakest. There is another point, but we'll get to that as well. I don't particularly love these cream blushes. I think that they work. It is personally a preference though. The preference of something like this where I feel I need to use a brush to apply, just not a personal preference for me. I just don't love it, not gonna lie. So this also does give off more of like a balmy kind of finish, and so you definitely have some wiggle room on opacity and all of that. This shade right here is Cheeky, and this shade right here is Persimmon. I have previously done a short showcasing both. If I'm able to find that short, I will go ahead and put it, link it down below for you guys. I don't know if I'll be able to embed it. If I can, I'll try my best, but I know I don't have the records anymore. I do prefer shade wise Persimmon. It's just more of like a terracotta shade that is just more up my alley. I'm just going to really work that into the bristles on this Refer brush. I typically would not tell you guys to use a natural hair brush for cream products, but I just need this type of brush for this type of product. So basically for me, I find that I have to really stipple this onto my skin to really get the true color to pay off. And even then, if you're really looking at my cheeks, I don't think you can really tell that I have cream blush on this side, but no cream blush on this side. I think you can see that there's a product in the area of cream blush, but can you tell that I have a terracotta shade on? I don't think so. So I put down Persimmon as like, I guess, a base. I'm really trying to get some color pigment here. Like I said, in person, I can see it. It looks quite balmy, hence the name. So I'm just gonna add just a tinge of Cheeky just to hopefully get just a little bit more pigment, and I'm just gonna really do it at the ball of my cheek. Yeah, and I think this shade Cheeky just shows up a tinge bit better on my skin tone, which also doesn't help with my opinions on this product when that's the shade that I am not as easily attracted to. So anyways, what's done is done. I will say personally for me, I find that one, those products do not dry down. So I do find just doing a light sheer application of powder is my personal preference. Also, I find that if you do not put it on a set base, it just doesn't build up as well as I was able to get it up just then. And even then, I added some powder because I felt like my cheeks were just a tinge bit too glowy for my preference. And I feel like that took away some of the color. So this is where I'm going to just add what's on my brush just to the real cheekbone area, just to continue to bring some of that life back. So I still have some of that radiance and hopefully a little bit more of the color. But this is like the challenge for me personally with this type of product. And that's why I don't know how long that particular product is going to be in my collection. And I do remember that that was actually sent to me from the brand. So I think the bronzer I picked up personally. So these two are another thing that the brand sent to me, and I absolutely love this product. So this is one of my favorite products from the brand. If I had to recommend two products from this brand, it would be this and the foundation sticks. I just really like them. But this is another, and this is their cream highlighter. I absolutely love this cream highlighter stick and the formulation. This is the formula that I compare all other formulas to when it comes to cream highlighter. So highly recommend it. It just works for me. So I have two shades, and memory serves me correctly, the brand sent me both. So this first one is in the shade Bounce. It is an icy kind of pinky tone, not something that I personally like, not only for my skin tone, but also for my undertone. Once again, another thing I feel I really learned this year about myself is truly what my undertones are and what really works the best on me. So this is Bounce and this is Citrine. As you can see, Citrine has a lot warmer of a base. It has an orange kind of color, like shimmer running throughout, and this has a lot more pink. So the pink, i.e. Bounce, definitely I would recommend if you have more of a cooler undertone. It's probably going to bounce beautifully, no pun intended, right off of your skin. Whereas for me, Citrine just really works the best. So that's going to be the shade that I work with. And as I have demonstrated time and time again, I prefer to use this with my finger. It's just not a preference of mine to use a brush. I don't like it at all. You can use a sponge. I just find that the sponge kind of takes away a bit of the illumination or the luminosity of the product. And what I like to do is just use one finger to warm up the product. That's why if you look at my actual Citrine, there is like a flat surface, because this is the one shade I would say from the brand that I've gotten the most use out of, and I just apply it. Once you've warmed up the product, you can really just apply it where you want. I like to tap it out to blend it in, and you can always feel free, and this is what I do, where I will go back in with like my foundation brush or whatever other brush I feel I need to, just to kind of really blend in those edges if I feel I need to. And once you get to looking forward, I always like to kind of make sure to, I don't know, swipe towards the highlighter to ensure that I'm kind of blending it in. So it's not like a stark location. It's just a full on kind of glowy skin. Now, the thing about this is I think right now you're not really seeing the true essence of it because of how glowy, like I said, my cheeks got with that cream blush. And that's the thing. For me, I don't mind a truly kind of glowy highlighter, but the cream blush has got to just simmer down. So I'm actually going to just tap away a little bit more powder so that there you go. You see that right there? You see it? It's just, that is the money maker in my opinion. It's just, it is the part that is best. I am just gonna, just a tinge. I really like blush, and I want more of the color, not necessarily so much of the glow factor there. So as for brows, let me do my brows while I talk about this. So this brow gel, to my knowledge, comes in both clear and colored formulations. I have this in the shade brown. Now, for me, once again, the brand's aesthetic is all about very effortless, very neutral kind of I looked like this waking up aesthetic. Not hating the aesthetic. There's just certain parts of my foundation or my makeup routine that I like that for, and other products that like I need more. And brows are a category that I just personally I need more. I just find that this is not enough to fill in my brows the way I like. I definitely think that the kind of pomade or gel is fine. I have no issue with that. But to me, if you're looking at my everyday eyes, this is or brows, this is just not it. And it's literally I could use this as the the gel, but I just really want a brow pencil to sculpt this in just a little bit more, fill this in just a tinge bit more. And it's not a lot that I'm asking for. I just like to have just a tinge bit more structure and just have it filled in, like I said, a tinge bit more. So I'm just going to show you what I'm expecting and hoping in my more or less everyday brow. So that's what I want for my everyday brow. Not a whole lot more. I can deal with that amount of pigment, color, and just structure. But this product by itself just does not personally give me that. That said, if you are comfortable just running a pomade, or not a pomade, I said pomade multiple times. If you're comfortable using a gel and just running that through your brows, then Merit's got it for you. I will say their wand on that brow gel is quite big. So that is definitely something to kind of take note of. But otherwise, I think it is fine. I don't have any real true cons with that product. It's just not revolutionary. It's not one of those things that I've ever felt like once I finished it, I had to repurchase. It's fine. Okay, continuing on with their principles, I did just line my lips. I have become a liner girl. Don't play with me. There needs to be lip liner, and the brand does not have lip liner, but I've gotten quite a few comments asking about the Merit lip products. Now, I quite literally opened up every last purse that I know of in my possession. Oh, I didn't open up that purse. I don't know where that purse is. I opened every one that I could find, okay? And this is the only Merit lip product that I can find. I know at one point I had the lip oil in a purse, but like I said, I just thought about a purse that I didn't see in that extravaganza. Absolutely no idea where that is. So keep that in mind. I will talk about the lip oil, but let me go ahead and apply this. This is their signature lipstick. I think that this is, first things first, I mainly had this in a purse, and this is the first time I've used it in quite some time because I haven't used that purse in quite some time. I've not used that purse since fall because it has more fall colors. Anyways, so this does smell, it smells like crayon, which means that it's not got much time on the expiration date, I'm sure, which is more my fault than the brand. I don't remember ever smelling that more crayony smell prior to literally me opening it up today. But like I said, it did break, and it did not break when I was applying it. It must have broke in transition of just using my purse. For me, not a huge fan of that. I would hope that the lipstick has a little bit more stability to withhold me using it on the go. Color-wise, great. If I didn't say, this is in the shade Slip. Absolutely love the color. The opacity is not very much. It is very much on, I would say the opacity is on the level of the Huda Beauty cream lipsticks, if not a little bit less, but it's not nearly as shiny. Really, really nice. But once again, it sticks with the Merit philosophy where if you really didn't know me, I could look like this is my face with maybe a little sheen on the cheekbones. You know what I mean? So it really works with the brand overall, but you have to figure out if it works for you. I'm not gonna lie, a very similar formula to that is from Maybelline. I actually have it. It's a distance away from me though with my new setup, so I'm not gonna run for with it, but it literally has a very similar packaging. I almost literally pulled it thinking that it was the Merit. So do you need to pick that up? You know, like I said, there are definitely some positives and some gems in this brand's aesthetic and the line. Do you need to pick up everything though? Not in my opinion. As for the lip oil, the lip oil for me, the doe foot was just purely too small. This is definitely a personal preference. That's not something that like I think everybody feels or felt, but the doe foot was just too small for me. I felt like I was barely getting product applied to my lips, and I felt like I was having to dunk in 4 or 5 times just to get the amount of lip oil on my lips. That said, once I got it on my lips, it was fine once again. I didn't think it was revolutionary. It's not going to top my Lunar Beauty. It's not going to top I don't know, any other really any other really good lip oil or lip balm that I have found lately. It was just fine. And so for me, I definitely am not the biggest fan of the lip products, but at the same time, are they good? Yes. Are they solid? Yes. But they, once again, aren't something that I feel I need to shout from the rooftops and bring it home once again. I don't feel like that's what the brand wants. So it works with their aesthetic, and it just, once again, you need to figure out if it works for you and if it's going to provide you what you want. The lip oil, I had more of a brown tone. You really didn't see the brown coloring. It was very much a thin application and a very thin color. So you definitely would have to use a lip liner if you want something brown and your lip pigmentation is not brown. So definitely keep all of that information in mind. I really hope I answered all the questions. Let me see. The lip oil is not sticky at all. It's very comfortable. It's comfortable, but it's not like super moisturizing like I find some other lip oils have been in my experience. So yeah, hopefully that answered all of the questions that I have seen from it. And I think somebody was asking me, am I still using them? Not actively, but I also have a decent collection of lip products. And because these 2 lip products are not on the height of my personal preference, I'm not going to run for them. You know, I'm going to run for the ones that I really, really like the pigmentation and the opacity and the glossy level of the Huda Beauty cream bullet lipsticks. I've already finished one this year and I'm now working on my second. So it's one of those things where, because it's not my most favorite combination of opacity and shine level, I'm not reaching for them. But if I didn't have some of these more preferred formulas, I would reach for them. I hope that helps. Okay, so the last thing I have to talk about are these. I never got around to reviewing them, mainly just because I got my opinions after kind of my last roundup that I felt comfortable doing for the year. I definitely have so many other products I can review for you guys, and I will definitely be doing that into next year. But I kind of wanted to do a lot more roundup-y videos in the end of December than how I did previously. So I picked up 2 of their solo shadows, and I picked these up with my own money. The lipstick, I think they sent to me. I want to say the lip oil I bought. So this is in the shade Brun, and this is the brown. I want to say they only had 1 brown, and it was just this deep dark tone. I will come in closer so that you guys can see. And now I realize I still have the highlighter on the back of my hand. Let me wipe the highlighter off, and I will reapply that cream single shadow for you guys. So I did do 2 applications for both shades, just so that you guys know. So this is Viper and this is Brun. So as I've been toting time and time again, I feel like in this video today, the thing about this brand is they're not looking to really get anything that is going to be extremely opaque, extremely blinding, extremely kind of show stopping. They just want things that people can feel comfortable kind of wearing every day and applying quickly. So I like to apply these with a brush. I will say if I'm going for longevity, I definitely 100% recommend a eyeshadow primer. These really don't work, in my opinion, long term without that eyeshadow primer. I do have oily lids, so my lids are completely oily, so they break this cream shadow down like white on rice if I don't put that primer. And even then it still does, but it takes it longer to break it down. So I'm just going to try to do an eye look with just these two shades. Like I said, I like to apply them with a brush. I find that if you put a majority of the shade on your lid, you can really blend it out into the crease and other subsequent areas so that, you know, it looks nice. But, you know, I have no real qualms with this. Do I think I should have to put a primer down for a cream shadow? You know, that's debatable. For me, I like to actually use a lot of my cream shadows as primers. So the fact that I feel like this needs a primer to use it, it's not the best. Not the best, not gonna lie. But, you know, once again, this brand is really all about one shadow, two shadow, very quick, everything. So they're not thinking about the people like me who want to use this as the base. No, they're thinking about their actual customer base who wants to use, and in that context, it may actually work. I'm just gonna use my finger to try to blend these together. I think they're blending together. I might go in with a tinge bit more of Viper, and then I can also just kind of try to blend the shades in. So yeah, I mean, I think they're fine. Do I think that they are worth all of the marketing that they did for this and like all of that? Not personally, but you know, it's a preference level. And if you don't have such oily lids, they may last. I mean, I just tried to wipe off the swatches and I had to scrub, and even then I didn't get them fully off. So I think it's just because of my, you know, the fact that my lids are oily is the reason why, you know, these aren't favorites. So definitely comment down below, like if your eyelids aren't oily, to let people know if you've tried these, whether you like them or not. I think once again, just for me, I am going to play with something else just to add a little something, just a little. I'm not gonna do too much, and this will work, I think. Are we gonna use this? We'll use this because I don't think I've used the shimmer just yet, and just because I know me, I'm not gonna feel like my look is complete without doing this. So really quickly, just in case you guys care, I did put on a different pair of lashes than I usually do, and these are the Virtues from Blend Bunny Cosmetics in the style Saint, or maybe the other way around. This is the collection of Saint in the style Virtue. Either way, I will have it down below for you guys as well. So let's talk about the products. If I had to recommend some products, and I did forget to mention the fact that I have tried their mascara. Once again, something that I did not think was live or die. I did have it. I used it for 3 months, and then I did, of course, throw it away. Every 3 months, if you did not know, you should be changing your mascara just because of bacteria, and you really don't want to mess with bacteria around your eyes. So products that I truly recommend from the depths of my soul is going to be their highlighters and their foundation sticks. I've already kind of talked about them. These are definitely the top two. If I had to add a third, it would of course be the cream bronzer or the balm bronzer. These are the three products that I genuinely think, regardless of the amount of coverage that you like or even the type of base that you like, you can make them work. I do think in the grand scheme of things, they will work best if you are a fan of a more skin-like finish. But even if you aren't, they can definitely work, and I have used them with a variety of different other products. Today I really stuck with just Merit Beauty, of course, but I have used Merit Beauty in a conjunction of other kind of combinations all throughout my channel. So if you search in the search bar, you should be able to see all of the videos that I either reference the brand or of course have used the brand, and that's why it's tagged in the description box. So those are my top 3 personally. If I had to say a bottom 3 for me are going to be these products. So for me, the brow gel, the way that I like to use my brow gels, I don't need color, and I also just don't find that this really sets and like stamps my brows in the way that I've gotten used to with other brow gels. I already find that my hairs have already kind of fruited down, not a personal love of mine. So this is gonna be the bottom for me. It's just not enough hold. Then it's unfortunate, but it's the lip products. I did apply the lip product as you guys saw, and I feel like in the time that I've been talking, I have been drinking just a little bit, but I generally kind of try to avoid my lips touching the cup or whatever, just not contamination wise, but just like, losing my lip color wise. I just don't particularly think that this lasts very long, and just to prove it. Do you guys see a difference in the opacity of the top and the bottom? To me, I don't even want to say if I see a difference in the opacity, but I definitely feel a difference in the amount of product that I now have on both lips after doing that. I think I need to add just a tinge bit of lip liner just to keep this look a little bit more cohesive, but I will do that in just a second. And then lastly, unfortunately, I'm going to say are the balm products. Once again, this is a personal preference. All of this is a personal preference. These all are good products. They just all don't work best for me. And so I can't, in all consciousness, recommend all of them. And it doesn't work. Anyways, cream cheek balms. These are just not a huge love of mine. I find that the amount of color that I like, I really have to apply a lot of product. And for that, I get a very overly glowy cheek, which in the cream zone, not a personal preference unless I get a lot of color. And I find for the amount of glow, I'm just not getting enough color payoff for me. So yeah, there is that. Once again, all of these things and more of just application throughout the year will be taken into account when I do my declutters. Comment down below if you have any questions. I know I've been really bad at comments lately. I apologize. Last week of my program, really going through it, but I will definitely go ahead and get back into the comments as best as I possibly can very, very soon. So go ahead and send those comments my way, and I will answer them as quickly as humanly possible. As for the other products that I physically have here that I did not talk about, I'm going to say that these are just kind of in the middle row, along with the mascara. The mascara is fine. It's just not something I feel I need to repurchase. These two, once again, are fine. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the highs, the lows, and the mess when it comes to Merit Beauty, in my opinion. I would love to hear your opinions down below. Please go ahead and comment them, especially if you have a different skin type or different preferences. Please hit them down below. With that said, I will see you guys in my next video, which of course is going to be coming up tomorrow. Bye guys.